Welcome back to the RAT course, everyone. In this video session, we will be creating and finishing 100% completing the reverse shell functionality of our RAT. So we're going to go File, New, Form. This will be form number 7 or T-form 7. So what we're going to do is go ahead and size it out just right. And we're going to go ahead and start the graphical design of this. It ought to be quite simple, actually. So we'll just take us a memo. So throw down a memo, make sure there's no lines left in it. So erase those lines. And now we're going to size that just right, just like that. Okay. So once you've got it just right, try to size the form just right with it. And we are going to anchor this on all 4 sides. So true, 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 left, top, right, bottom. Now we're going to grab ourselves an edit. We're going to throw that down, clear it out, and we're going to throw it right here and all the way across the form. Now this will have to be anchored as well. Left, right, bottom. Now when you move the form around, you'll see that it follows no matter what. Pretty cool, huh? All right, the main caption of the form will be reverse shell access. And that's just kind of what that's going to be, all right? So at this point, we've got ourselves a nice little graphical interface made up for our reverse shell. We're going to save that, and we're going to call the new unit that we're saving, not unit 7, but we're going to call it something else. We're going to call it remote shell.pass for Pascal. Okay, great. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and take care of all of our business that we'll have to deal with when it comes to creating a clone of this. Okay, so let's go to Project, make sure we go to Options, and we're going to go to Forms as soon as it pops up. We're going to take Form 7 and move it over to the Available Forms list. And we're going to hit OK or Save. That's it. So now we're going to go to Form 1, and we're going to go all the way down to where we're declaring our T-dictionary lists for cloned forms. In this case, it's all right here. So I'm just going to take the comment and this and paste one more in there, and this will be for T-form 7. This is going to be remote. We're going to call it remote shell forms. And then we're going to go all the way to the top of the code into our uses statement. All this stuff right here, look for where we've declared all of our forms. So that would be like, just look around here. I should have commented it. I believe I did at some point through here. I put all of these right here. So as you can see, we have the remote control module interfaces, or the cloned forms. So I'm going to go and make a new one called remote shell, and this will be this is remote shell, and that's it, because we want to include the unit that we named remote shell.pascal. So now I can make a comment over here just like the other ones we did and just say form for viewing and seeing the remote PC's command shell. And that'll be it. Okay, so save that. Now we have to go to on form create. So on form create, we're going to create this new thing here. So just kind of look down here where we do all of these right here. So we're going to copy this one because I'm just being lazy. Copy, paste, paste. And we're going to call this remote control space so we can see what we're looking at. We're looking for shell forms is equal to a T-dictionary of class T-form 7 and .create. And that's that. So now that we've done that, we need to save this, and we need to go to on form destroy, the destructor. So we're going to come down and we're going to copy the last one that we had. Just copy, paste, paste, and we're going to change this to remote, hit control space, and we're going to go to shell forms. Okay, so copy that, and we want to paste that right there, and paste that right there. Erase the S at the end, paste it right here, erase the S at the end. These are now going to be showing as red because we haven't declared them. So let's go up above into the variable declarations, paste, and T form 7. Now we have a declaration there for that. Okay, problem resolved, basically. Now we just have a couple more quick things to do on the socket. When the socket disconnects, we want to make sure to clear that as here as well. So as you can see, we're closing and clearing, and freeing up memory. So we're going to do the same exact thing with this. Just copy, paste, and we're going to essentially go ahead and do the same damn thing. So for this, we're going to say remote and then control space because we're going to go with shell forms. So we're going to try to get the value from the client ID onto our remote form, our cloned form, and then our form here will close, and then our forms here will remove the client from that cloned form T-dictionary. So now with this, again, copy because it's undeclared. So we're going to go back up to the variables list and we're going to add it. So T form 7. And then I can make a little comment here and say reference to the command shell cloned form. And there you have it. So save, done. Okay, great, fabulous. But we do need to free it. So at the bottom, don't forget where we are doing this at, make sure that we did remove it. Okay, yeah, we did. Everything's great, fantastic. Don't forget though, on the form close event procedure, you want to make sure that at the bottom where we're freeing all these, we have to also free that as well. So right here, you want to say remote control space, and it's shell form, shell forms rather. Where's the shell forms T-dictionary.free? Okay, that's it. We're done. Now we've completely got our thing made up. So whenever we click on the client pop-up menu, you want to make an option here to be able to open up a reverse shell on the person, right? So for this caption, we're going to put reverse shell, and we're going to double click that and come to the code. First, I'm going to go to the task manager and copy all the code that we already have here and go to reverse shell. So now I'm back to reverse shell, and I'm going to paste that in under the procedures begin here. Boom, boom. Okay, great. So now what we have to do is change this to form 7. And this is not remote task manager form. It's actually remote and, oops, hang on there, guys. Remote, remote control space. We'll just do remote shell form. Okay. So that's that, and then we're going to make sure that we have a person selected. If not, we're going to exit. We're going to set up the current client information. We're going to then begin looking at remote control space, remote shell forms. So look for remote shell forms, try to get the value and see if there's already an existing one. Copy that. This is going to be remote shell form. .show if it already exists, bring to front as well. Then we're going to put form is equal to tform7 .create application. We're going to say that its client ID will be equal to the current client ID. It's red because I haven't actually put a client ID on the forms code in the public declarations, so I'm going to add it. Public client ID cardinal. Now if we go back, the problem is resolved. So at this point, essentially what we have to do, here, let me make sure I spelled that correctly. Yeah, I think I did. Save and go back. Okay, so now that we have that fixed, we're going to come down here, and this is going to be forms, add. We are going to add that person to the form itself. And then we are going to set its caption to remote shell access, and it's going to be of that client's cardinal value. Then we're going to show that form. Then we're going to send some information over to the client to be able to start up a reverse shell, right? So I think that we could just easily do something like this right here, my boys. So we're going to do reverse shell and the version command, which will just give us the version of whatever operating system they're on, Windows in this case. So that'll be fine. We're going to save this. Make sure that you change this to the form itself. And there you go. Problem resolved. All of our code is perfect. We're going to save it. Control D, save again. Come back over here to the remote shell interface and this unit, and we're going to start doing some programming here. Okay, guys? So we've set up our clone stuff, so we're 100% set on that. We do need to work on the event of close on this form, because if we do close this, we're going to have to free up the dictionary here as well. So form1 dot, I'm going to hit run because I'm lazy and I don't want to type stuff. So it's going to bitch me out and say, hey, do you want to add the first unit because you're trying to make a call to it? And I'm going to say, yeah, I do. Be my bitch and do it for me. Yay. Okay, so now it's my bitch and it's doing it for me, right? So essentially at this point, guys, because we have to free up that dictionary class and all the info in it, the memory, we have to say form1 dot remote. Let's do dot remote shell forms dot remove client ID. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to put that the action for this form is to free it from memory. So we're going to save that and let's click run and see if we get an error. Okay, we got some errors here. Let's try and figure this out. So this is remote. Oh, I meant remove, not remote. Here, let's try that again. See if we get some errors. Okay, great. So fantastic. That's good. We're done with that. Save, and we are going to continue this. So a couple of things, guys. We're going to have to issue commands, and to be able to do that, we're going to have to type in here. So whatever you're going to be typing in here is going to be sent to the client, and the client's going to have to respond. So what we'll do for this is on the event of a key being pressed, I know that we have a hook procedure already here. Right here, a procedure for start hook, stop hook on the keyboard. But regardless of this, we used this mainly to detect like basically to detect stuff like for the remote desktop, if you will. So we could go ahead and use this, but honestly, guys, it's really simple to just click the edit box here and just use its already made key down event or key press even. I think key press would be better. So we'll go to the key press event procedure here. And we'll just kind of go with that one, okay? So on the key press, we have a little bit of programming to do here, okay? So we're going to have to take into consideration that we're attempting to basically mimic, if you will, a Microsoft Windows command prompt, right? So we're going to have some variables. The command will be the first variable. Params, these will be a string type. Then we need a space position, like a spacer. So we'll do that as an integer. And now we can begin. So if the key, and by the way, guys, in case you're curious or maybe a little confused, the key is actually here. It's a character. It's called and controlled by this procedure, okay? It's the key that's currently being pressed whenever you have focused the edit box, okay? So if key, so let's just put, if the key is not hashtag 13, which will be the space bar, I do believe, because we're trying to make sure that we only want to process the enter key, if you will. So this is, if the key is not 13, which should be the return key, the enter key, we're going to essentially going to make it to where it'll send the command through properly. Here, let's keep writing. I'll kind of get you the gist of it, okay? If it's not 13, we exit, okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. If the key's not 13, which means we didn't press return or enter, then we're not going to do anything. Here, I'll just put only process the enter key. Okay, so now we can begin. So if we didn't press enter, we're going to fuck off, right? But otherwise, we're going to say key is equal to #0 prevent beeping. Then we're going to say that the command is equivalent to trim, because we got to trim it. We're going to trim the edit1.text field. And then we're going to come down and say memo1.lines. Here, we'll just do memo1.lines.add. And inside of this, we're going to put, we're going to have a way, you know, I'm trying to think, guys, if we do this in this way, we're going to have some variables up here. Let's focus on maybe trying to add in a variable to keep track of where we are. Because if we want to change directories, we're going to have a way to remember where the hell we're at. You know what I mean? Let's make a current directory as a string. So now we can come back and we can say, like, once we press the return key and we're issuing this this statement or whatever, we could go ahead and say f current directory. It'll be plus, and then I think if we mimic the command prompt, I do believe that we have to do like something like this. So that'll be the current directory plus one of those. I'm pretty sure that's how that goes. Let me open a command prompt real fast. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Okay, it looks just like it. Okay, great. So that's good. Now what we'll have to do is now that we have done that or whatever, essentially what we will do is just we'll have to issue the statement command that we put in. Let me just kind of think here, boys. We'll just do, I think what we're going to have to do is also display the command that we put in. I think that will do. So yeah, now we can handle any local commands first without sending anything over the socket. So, okay, so guys, like, you know how if you type CLS, that like clears stuff out in Microsoft Windows? So like here, like let me show you. If I do command and I type CLS and hit enter, see how it cleared it and just shows this? That's kind of what we want it to do here. We want to simulate that. So what we're going to do is if the command to lower, because we want to be safe about it and make sure that it gets it no matter what. If we do all cap CLS or all lower CLS, we're going to force it to be lowercase CLS, okay? To lower equals CLS, then we are going to begin memo1.clear. Then we're going to say memo1.lines.add, and we're going to add the f current directory, which we have above, plus one of these bad boys right here. And then we're going to edit .clear, and then we're going to set focus and exit. So edit one.setFocus, and then edit one, or well, we'll just set focus and then we'll just exit this procedure, this thing. Otherwise, we're going to say else if command.toLower is equal to exit, because remember, guys, if you type exit, if you type in exit, you want to be able to close the form. So we'll do begin, end, close, self, and exit this just in case we need to do that. Okay, so this is looking pretty good, guys. Like, I got to be honest with you, this so far looks pretty solid. Because if we're going to make sure we're hitting the enter return key, the enter button to issue the command, we come down here and we make sure that we're setting up our no beeping crap. Make sure we trim our command out, make sure to read it out properly so it simulates what it looks like in the command prompt. Make sure we're not typing a command called CLS, because if we do, we want to clear out our command prompt like manually on our side without sending a command over. We also want to check if we're trying to exit and then close this whole thing. Like if we type exit here and hit enter, the whole form closes, okay? So, and if you remember, when the close event happens, boom, boom, it automatically does these two. So we're actually handled here in one line of code. So now that we've done that, we'll basically want to handle any changing directory commands and stuff. So let's say that we want to, let's say that if the length, let's do if length of our command, okay, if is greater than or equal to 2, and we want to copy command 1, 2, and this will go dot to upper equals CD, right? Then we will be able to do something with this as well. So we're going to put the space position is equal to pos or position of like this. It's a blank, right? So to this command, if space position is greater than 0, then parameters here, let me, the params that we're going to be dealing with here are going to be params equals, we need to trim it, and we need to copy the command space position plus 1, then max int, okay? And else, let's do, let's go down here and say else params is going to be nothing, okay? And then we can simply put if the params is equal to nothing, then we will begin doing this, Control D. So let's say that if the params are nothing, we're just going to put just CD with without any params. So this is just handling shit if we accidentally type in CD and we don't put anything next to it. You see what I'm getting at, guys? If there's no space and there's nothing else to send, this is just my way of saying, hey, this is how we're going to deal with this crap, okay? So we're going to put send command like this, okay? So now that we got that, we'll put this as an end. And then we'll come down and say else begin, and we'll send the CD command to the client, okay? So we're going to send command, and it'll just be our command, okay? Update our local tracking of our current directory. So let's say that if params is equal to, and this is going to be kind of to be able to go back, okay, guys? So dot dot, remember how you type CD space dot dot, and that takes you back a directory? That's what we're doing, okay? So we're going to say again, and Control D this. So now that we have this kind of set up, we're just going to put the F current directory. Because guys, this is what we're trying to change. Now that we're going back, we're going to take this directory and we're going to remove the trailing delimiter. You kind of get that, like the pathway to the trailing delimiter. So we're going to say is now equivalent to extract here. Let's extract file directory, exclude trailing path delimiter, F current directory. And that's that. So now that we've done that, we're going to come down here and we're going to put else if the length, here, let's do if the length, okay, of params, we'll put if the length of the params, and we're just doing the same kind of thing we did before, guys. So this is kind of like, this line will be very similar to this one. We're going to do the greater than 2 thing again, blah, blah, blah. So we'll just put if the length of params is greater than or equal to 2, and params 2 is equivalent to this, then begin, and we're going to scroll down a bit, and we're just going to put this would mean that would be an absolute path. So I think that this would be an absolute path. An absolute path starting with a drive letter. You guys get that? Because if the param 2 is one of these bad boys, it means C:/. You kind of get where I'm going with that, okay? So we're granulating it down. Like, we're granulating it down to, like, you know, what did we type in? These commands? Did it start with this? Did we have a second parameter after a space? Did we check to see if there's this, to see if we're in the root directory of an actual drive, blah, 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 blah. So now that we have that, we'll come down a line right here and just change it here. F current directory will become equivalent to the absolute drive letter, which is just params here. It's PARAMS, just like that. Okay, great. Then we want to come down here, and we want to come down, and we're going to put else begin, and we're going to now take it a step further and actually put the relative path. Relative path. There. So if not params dot starts with the /, then here, I've already got this written. Then the F current directory will be equivalent to including the trailing path delimiter. Include trailing path delimiter F current directory plus params, just like that. So we don't want to end this with one of these here, because I think we better say else the F current directory will be equal to copy from the F current directory 1, 2, and plus the params itself. Okay, great. So now underneath this, we would like to go ahead and add the ability to clean up the path and go ahead and send the change directory command over to the opposing endpoint. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So right here, let's make some extra lines and just do some thinking, okay, guys? So we're gonna have right here, let's clean up our path. So the F current directory will be equivalent to expand file name F current directory. And now send the CD command to ensure we are synchronized with the client. Because guys, let me explain something to you very clearly, okay? The client is responsible, or going to be responsible, for upkeeping where we're changed directory into, okay? I hope you guys get that. We can't do it server-sided. Well, technically we could, but it would be a pain in the ass, which is why I'm taking the long ass road to do all this programming and make sure that every time we change paths, whether it be to change directory or go back, blah, 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 I'm trying to make sure that we tell this guy right here, hey, This is where I'm at. You better fucking do what I told you to do. Otherwise, I'm going to get a baseball bat and, okay, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing, guys. But no, we have to tell the client where it is. If the client doesn't understand which directory it's in, you're going to get results that are just absolutely pathetic. Like, you're going to be sat over here in this window typing in, change directory to downloads, and it's going to go somewhere completely different and piss you off, okay? That's what I'm trying to get at, okay? So in this, we're just making sure that we're sending it to the proper location. So send command CD. So now that we've done that, we can come down to this where we're going to erase this, come down, else, begin, and we're going to put, we're going to send the regular command. Right, so send the regular version of our command over to the client. So we're going to say send command, and that's it. And then we're going to end that out. And then we are going to come on down here and we're going to edit one.clear, and we are going to edit one.setFocus. Done. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I'm going to save this. That's literally the whole logic for the entire edit one key press event. I do believe this will work. We will test this to make sure. If it does not work, then I'll let you know. But this should be it. This quite literally should be it. Okay. So yeah. So now that we have that, let's make sure to save and go to the next bit of code, which we're going to need to write in, is going to actually be the send command, because as it stands, we didn't actually write anything with that. And my IntelliSense seems to be like not working right now. I don't know why that's not showing as red, but it doesn't matter. We're going to come up here, guys, and we're going to program in a new procedure, or if you will, called send command. And this will be this will just be a simple procedure. So let's come up to the top here, and we'll do this under private declarations. So let's do it right underneath here. Let's go procedure, and we're going to do send command, and it's going to have a constant command as a string, and that'll be it. So now we can Control-Shift-C and create this. So this will bring us down to where we can actually start programming this new procedure, right? So this procedure is actually really simple. Basically, we didn't even have to write this damn thing. I'm just making it where we just send the command so it's like more human English readable. But basically, it's just form1 dot send to single client. The client ID bytes of reverse shell pipe plus our command. And that's it. So save that. And that's it. So now we can focus on being able to do some other stuff here. So what we want to do also is be able to essentially handle commands that are sent back to us from the client. So we're going to have to do that as well. So let's go ahead and write one more procedure up here. So let's go to the send command procedure and write us another procedure called handle result. This is to handle the result that comes in from the client. So we're going to put a constant declared variable here, which is going to be called result, which is type of string data. Okay. So again, just click here, Control-Shift-C to create the entire procedure for us. God, I love that. Whoever the guy was who showed me that, I fucking love that guy. I wish I could memorize all the keyboard shortcuts because I'm sure it would help me code fast as absolute hell, but I'm too lazy to learn them, so whatever. All right, so we're going to handle the command here, okay, guys? So we're going to have some variables in here. So let's just put one. It'll be the trimmed result. And this is going to be a type string, okay? So now then, Control D so we can get this going. All right, so let's go ahead and start programming. Our trimmed result, if I can type, will be trim result of whatever the result happens to be being piped through this procedure. So then we're going to check if this is a directory response. So if the length if the length of the trimmed result is greater than or equal to 3, so like this, then actually let's do and the trimmed result secondary parameter is equivalent to this, and we'll have a thirdly, the character in set is the trimmed result 1. Okay, so the first parameter, we're gonna have to do this. I'm thinking like for drive letters, honestly, we could just do like a simple array type thing, if you will. Okay, so character in set, that means I should be able to add brackets and add like letters A all the way to uppercase Z, and as well as all the lowercase equivalencies of these as well. So then I will do that. Then begin and Control D. So now that we have the ability to look at what we're doing, we should be able to see if we're trying to look at an actual directory response here. Then we're going to say that this is the directory path response, and then we need to update the current directory that we are looking into. So we're going to put f current directory is equivalent to the trimmed result, and then we'll be able to say memo1.lines.add, and we will be able to put, let's just put the current directory plus maybe one of these, I guess. I think that's actually how you do it. Yep, that'll be the full directory plus one of those, so it looks like the command prompt. Okay, and that's that. So then we can come down and put end else begin. This will be regular command line output. So if it's not a directory, we're just going to flash in all the received stuff, just like we would in the original command prompt on your screen. So we'll just put memo1.lines.add trimmed result, memo1.lines.add, and then we'll put the f current directory plus the little symbol, and that's that. Okay, done. This is completed, so this should be about it. Let me just think things over here real quick. It looks like we've pretty much got everything. Some things we could do on the form show. We could actually go to on show. So let me look up on show here. We could do some stuff here. We could put like, initialize our reverse shell and I don't know, display the current directory. I don't know, something like this. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't. I don't know. Just put here, just do memo1.lines.add, not that, but this, and then we can add like initializing remote shell, and then we can come down and put send command cd, so that way it automatically throws us back where we are. Okay, because remember, we just typed cd, we didn't put a parameter. So remember what we programmed earlier, right up here, was that if we didn't put a parameter, then it would throw a different type of thing back at us. Because if we press this right here and we come down and we're saying that it's just CD or whatever, like if it's just CD, it's going to throw back just a normal command, like it would throw it in there. Here, I'll show you guys when we run it. So basically, that's pretty much it. I think this is completed. We don't really have to do anything else. We've got our form closed, all of our T-dictionary stuff taken care of. We've got the ability to receive commands. Now we need to start working on the client, okay guys? So again, when we type in a command here and on key press, we're sending different commands. We're sending like CD, we're doing all this, but these are all parameters of the original first command, which really is actually this. Here, let me show you. So it's actually this command right down here, reverse shell. So we need to go to our client and we need to find a good place to put this so that we can, we can deal that out or whatever. So let's go ahead and see about maybe putting that over here. So copy that. Let's go to the client and come to the client socket, go to events on handle command. Come on down here a little ways. So here's a bunch of commands and shit. So let's just put it under this one, okay? So we'll just go right here and we're gonna put if SL0 is equivalent to the reverse shell command, then begin if SL.count is greater than 1, then obviously it's a legitimate command. Begin, and we're going to put a variable, an inline variable here called command to execute. Okay, and that's going to be SL1. Okay, so then what we've got is the ability to create a tthread.queue. We're going to create an anonymous thread because this is having to process stuff in the background. So we can't just queue this up and hit it. I really wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. So we want to actually make this bastard do something on a different thread, okay? That way it doesn't freeze up communications with the sockets. It doesn't, it's just going to work. It's going to work in the background and then it's going to die, okay? So we'll create an anonymous thread. We're going to have to make a procedure in this thread with its own variable for output, which is going to be a string. And then we're going to begin and end that. So we're going to put output is going to be equivalent to execute command and capture the command output, command to execute. And then we're going to send the command back over to our server. Client socket dot exec command. We're going to put 0, bytes of the shell result pipe plus the output that we are obviously grepping. And then we're going to put false, it's not async, or it's not an async result callback type thing, so we don't give a shit about that. Then we're going to come down and say start. So right after this little parentheses thing, you have to start that anonymous thread, okay? This, however, is a new procedure we're going to write because I want this anonymous thread to actually call this procedure or function that we're about to write and actually deal with it there. So above in our code, we're going to make a new function. So let's go all the way up as best we can. Look around for a free section of code where we can start writing. Let's just make it right here at the very, very top, okay? So we are going to say function tform1 dot execute command and capture. And it's going to have a constant command as a string, and it's going to return a string-based value. So we're going to say begin. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-C to automatically create that in the top of the code. If you guys want to see where that went, it went right here. It automatically created it when I hit Control-Shift-C. Very cool shortcut. I love that guy, like I said, for showing me that. That is fucking awesome. All right, so we're going to have to write this this command out to be able to capture the command and actually handle it. Now, guys, this is quite a bit of code because remember, we're sending over all these different possibilities, like the actual reverse shell command thing with the payload of the command that we're wishing to execute, but it could also be a ton of stuff. Like it could be it could be like change directory, CD, it could be, just all these different things. So we're going to have to make several different ways of it actually working out. So what we'll do, I'm just going to copy and paste this part of it because it is quite a bit to write out. So let me go ahead and grab what I've already got written on my other project here, just real fast, and I will paste it in for you guys. So right up top here, let's go back right here. Let's go, boom. It is a big, long sucker. That is for sure. It is a big, long motherfucker. We got all kinds of stuff going in here, and it has to do with calling different functions and procedures and the different types of variables that exist in another library, which was converted from Free Pascal to Delphi. Now, if you are confused about what I'm saying, that's because I haven't added it yet. Don't freak out. Basically, what I'm going to have to do for this project is copy over some units. So let me kind of show you guys exactly what I mean by that. I'm going to show and explore my first original project. So we need the pipes, the processes, and the include file for the dpipes and dprocesses. So I'm going to copy this from an old project I've got, okay? And I've copied that. So now we're going to go here and show and explore where we're on our client here, our actual project. I'm going to paste these files that are necessary to make all this magic happen, right? So these are already written up for us. We don't have to do anything except include them. So let me copy this location. We have to go project, add to project, and we're going to add, here, let me go here and do any file. We're going to add dpipes, dprocesses, and the pipes when include. All three of those need to be selected. I'm going to click open. Now that we have all of these included, see how they came over here and they're actually here in our project? That means everything should work now. So at this point in time, guys, we can essentially give this a shot, and I do believe we're done programming because I think that we've handled just about everything we possibly could. So yeah, let's go ahead and maybe we can just give it a quick go. What do you think? And before we give it that go, I do just want to give it one more quick overview look because we do. I did have to add in one thing, guys. Here, let me show you. Basically, when the command does come back, it's going to specifically give you. Here, let me. This is. See if I can find this for you real fast. File data, blah, blah, blah. Here, let's go back over here and just find that command so I don't have to search for it. So this will be reverse shell, copy. Let's just go Control V, find it. It's right here. So it's going to give us a shell result. So let's copy that. So I put that over here on the server endpoint so you can see it clearly. So on the handle command, basically what I've done is I have placed it right here, shell result. So what I'm doing here, guys, is the same exact thing you do on everything else. Just copy and paste, and we're granulating it down and getting to our cloned form for the remote shell, right? The remote shell cloned form. We're showing it, we're displaying it if it's already there, blah, blah, blah. We're locking onto it, and we're going to the memo of that form and adding the params1, which should be the entire command that should be returned to us for reverse shell. Okay, so guys, let's give it a run. I'm going to run the rat, And I haven't included any icons yet, so I think, or actually I think I did put some icons on here. So I'll make sure this is listening. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to go to the client. We're going to run it, and hopefully, if I wrote everything correctly, we should be able to see some results. So it's going to pop up here. I'm going to click myself. I'm going to go to reverse shell, which I haven't given an icon yet. And boom, we're going to get a reverse shell. Okay, this looks kind of weird. I don't like the first part. We might take that part out, seriously. It looks kind of shitty. But let's try typing VER and hitting enter. Oh, cool. So it does show us the version. Let's try CD, and then let's try C:\users maybe, and hit enter. And then hit dir maybe. Oh, cool! Yeah, it did actually change. It did actually change our thing there. I don't like how we have to always send back some other like thing here, so we'll take that part out. But it looks to be working. Let's change directory to bitmaster zor and type in directory. Okay, yeah, it did. It worked. It's perfect. This is great. So now, yeah, this is pretty good. This is reverse shell, I guess. So CLS and then version help. Yep, it's all here, boys. Check it out. It's perfect. Amazing. So there you have it. That is reverse shell. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Here, let's try to like pop this down here. Let's open up some other stuff just real quick for shits and gigs, right? Here, I'll get one screen capture there. And we'll put that right here. Let's grab the webcam. I'm going to stop the camera with my hand in the way. That looks pretty cool. And then we'll go to Task Manager. We're going to get all the stuff showing here. Let's go to the File Manager where we can actually browse through all this shit. So, you know, there's users, bitmaster zor. Yeah, pretty cool, right? My cookies. I don't have any cookies in there. Okay, great, whatever. So, yeah, there you go. This is turning into quite a little project, right? So now if I close out the client, hopefully everything is handled. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. Everything is perfectly handled. Great. Awesome. Fabulous. So guys, that's pretty cool, right? So now we got reverse shell in the rat. Okay, so this only took 51 minutes of sitting here coding and explaining to you guys. So hopefully that wasn't too long for you. I hope that you all understood everything. Really super basic stuff. Guys, again, what it all boils down to, you're just making one socket communicate with another. That's it. It's literally that simple. The logic that lies underneath is just the logic you use to loop through Windows or whatever operating system you're targeting and do stuff. You know what I mean? The ultimate goal is to send data back and forth between the sockets and make them batter it back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. See? All right. So, some of you guys have requested that I do like some sort of a way to view keystrokes, etc., etc. I'll look into this for maybe possibly in the next videos. No promises, okay? But I will be looking over all of the recommendations that you guys have thrown out there, and I will, I'll try to come to a conclusion on what I'm going to do next, hopefully really soon, okay? All right, guys, until next time, peace out, stay frosty, and happy coding. Later.